Hey, I'm wearing the striped shirt that makes me look even fatter than I am. Yeah, it's like fat people aren't supposed to wear horizontal stripes, or is it vertical stripes? I think it might be any kind of stripes. um, Here's a question I've been asked a bunch that I've not made a video on. Is that who do you think has the best image output? Actually, I really like Panasonic. I don't like their horrible autofocus on the new Panasonic full-frame cameras. That's not my favorite, or what I don't think is the best. I've tested more than a few Sonys. I haven't tested the last two Sonys. I don't know if they've made any improvement. I tested the A7 Mark III and the A7S. And which other Sony did I have? I own more than a few Sonys. Actually, and this is no lie, when I posted straight out of camera image samples from the A7 III, people accused me of altering the images because they look so horrible. The actual color and the rendition of the image. It's like, no, I didn't. That's straight out of camera. I don't like Sony, but I would not purposely manipulate the images and post them up because someone could actually do forensic testing on them to see that they've been altered, but I didn't alter them at all. The two camera companies that have the best straight out of camera image, and also too varies from sensor to sensor. Actually, I prefer the image output on the Fujifilm X-T2 sensor, which is the same sensor in the X-H1, and the same sensor that's in the X Pro 2, on and on, more so than I do on the X-T3, X-T4. I guess that's an admission I shouldn't make. But the two top camera companies that I think have the best image output from my own humble, subjective conclusions are Nikon and Fujifilm, in no particular order. The best image output from Nikon, even though this camera is really long in the tooth, and it's hard to find a good copy anymore, because it's a pretty old friggin' camera, is a Nikon D700. Not best, second best. First best is a Nikon D4. Number 2 is a Nikon D850. D500 is great, but it clips highlights too easily. So Nikon is number 1 easily. So Nikon D750, other than the fact that it had 4 factory recalls, and the camera was a total bummer as far as its reliability. Image output from the Nikon D750, which I happen to own a D750 for about a year and a half. Absolutely incredible. Fujifilm, the best single output, even better than that of the Nikon D4, which is my favorite of all time. You know, money being no object. Number 1 favorite image output is the GFX 50S and 50R, both the same sensor and same image processing engine. The sensor that is actually used in this is an old sensor, same one found in the Pentax 645Z. GFX 100, I actually prefer images, even though it's 102 megapixels versus half of that on the GFX 50S or 50R, is the GFX 100. Slightly expensive, but for what it is, it's not expensive. It's actually going to get a firmware update, hopefully by the end of this year, for pixel shift that will let you take enormous, huge files, as if 102 megapixels isn't enough. But yeah, I do prefer the image output on the X Pro 2, XH1, XT2, which all 3 of those, including a few other Fujifilm cameras, I prefer the image output from that series of image processing engine and sensors over that of even the 26 megapixel, just slightly so. So, Sony is easily the worst. You hate Sony, you're just saying that because you know. I really do mean that. I have to be objective. I mean, my word hatred is not correct. My loathing of Sony's corporate ethos and the zeitgeist at the company is well known. I loathe it because of what they do and why they do it, and how they actually approach things, which is not as a photography company, which they are not a photography company. They're a consumer electronics company. Very, very important fact. And it shows that they are. I find their image output to be absolutely the worst. Olympus is way better than Sony. Panasonic is worlds better. Actually, third best I would actually rate is Panasonic. Panasonic after Nikon and Fujifilm together. It depends on the camera. I think the GFX 50R 50S is the best straight out of camera image output, and right behind that, if not right on the tail of it, is Nikon D4, and then the Nikon D850, and then the X-T2, X-Pro 2, XH1 sensor image processing engine found therein. So, I don't agree with you. Well, that's fine. There's a question I keep getting asked, and I wanted to answer it in a video. Who else? Yeah, third place is easily Panasonic. Fourth place is Olympus, right alongside Panasonic. Fifth place is easily Pentax Digital. Pentax. Sony is really at the bottom of the barrel. I mean, they really are. I have freely admitted that Sony has the best eye autofocus algorithms of any camera company. Their eye autofocus bests everybody. This is undeniable. You keep getting asked, well, who's the best eye autofocus? Well, it is Sony. Like that makes it the best camera? It doesn't even make it come close to the best camera. Yes, it's the best eye autofocus. Someone approached me at the Photo Plus convention. I have no idea who it was. Says, who sells the most digital cameras anyway? Full frame, I think he said. I said, well, it's Sony. He said, that's right. Like that proves anything? That's a bandwagon fallacy. That's like saying you should join the religion with the most members because if there's more people in it, that must mean it's right. That's a bandwagon fallacy. So, yeah, Sony does have the best eye autofocus. And Ford, Chevy, and GM, sell more vehicles than Toyotas and Subarus. But Ford, Chevy, and GM are American-made junk boxes that I almost never see a rusty Toyota or a Subaru, yeah? Or a Honda. You almost never ever see one. But every hour on the hour, if you're on the road, you'll see some Ford or GM or Chevy that is just rusted to hell. It's like the only thing holding it together is the rust. It's like, well, there's more of those on the road. Yes, there are, and I'll never, ever buy one. Never going to buy an American-made car. No, not because I'm anti-American, because I don't want to buy junk. It's falling apart and is not treated properly. However, like the Toyota Camry and the Toyota whatever the heck it is, because I worked at that facility for like a couple weeks, it was pure hell. They make those Toyotas here, and of course, like my RAV4 is made in Canada. So, but there's completely different assembly and a different approach to building things. Even though it's made in America, it's a Toyota. I know that. Someone's going to say that. But yeah, Sony's right at the bottom of the barrel. The only company that's worse for image output than Sony is the Sigma. I'm not talking about their lenses. I'm talking about their cameras. Sigma. Anyway, that definitely answers that question that I kept getting. Thank you so much for watching. Peace out, Girl Scout.